2K16 franchise, Easy Hawks. Now y'all can see Easy E faces just about everything. How's that? Playing a little tribute to him on NBA2K16. Let's do this.
When he plays well, they're tough to win.
It's great to hear from you, Doris. That's good. For the Nets, and they're driving. They were fantastic. Clark, second in the league last year in field goal percentage off those drops.
And a big reason for that is the strength and size of their guards, because they all can finish in traffic. And that's how you get high shooters. You have to have a tough shot against contact.
And you can count him on the line with a chance to make it through.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rim against the big guy. You know, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Now here is Jack. Pass to Young. Lopez right side. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Just that major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Horford against Lopez. Richardson up top. 6 points for him. Got a piece of it. Here's Kilpatrick. Richardson covered. Kicks it to Lopez. Here's Young. Nice D for Bosch.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on the switch to the basket. But on that one, they were there. And now Horford really has become one of those elite two-way guys. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Evans. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Sloan. There's the screen. There's the dish to Bogdanovich. It's to Sloan. Shot clock at 6. And it's sent back by Horford. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. And Athens with some changes. Anderson Varejao checked in for Horford. Jamari Kidd comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Allen in for Schroeder. And the Nets making a change here as well. Sims is checked in. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. And Horford at 6'10", an actual power forward who's been cast into duty at the center spot. But
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering the space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
Here's Sloan. Athens getting their last shot to go. There's a screen by Robinson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Sloan. Guarded by Schroeder. Sloan's shot is off. And it's Carroll in the corner. Varejao dishes to Allen. Back to Varejao. That's tipped. In transition. Here come the Nets. Finished off the break. Bogdanovich has got 5 now. It's part of a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
And both teams look like they came to play. He should have a good one.
Now here's Varejao. No scoring yet, but that's going to change.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has. And they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
First time out call of the game for Brooklyn.
Hey guys, last season was a painful one for Anderson Varejao. He had finally shaken the back injury that sidelined him the year before. Signs the multi-year contract extension with the Cavs. Things were starting to look up, but only 3 weeks later, he tears the Achilles and was ruled out for the season. We talk about a tough break. And that's how he made a steal count. Turned into a quick slam at the other end.
it was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right here, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, created havoc.
Hollis Jefferson, good. And adding insult to injury, certainly, Greg, as you were talking about, Verjao played well at the start of last season. Shooting 56% from the field. Clark, I think he was over 70% from the line. Those were career highs.
Yes, terrible blow for Verjao and the Cavs because of that injury, the Achilles tendon. It led to the deal for Mozgov. That's worked out quite nicely.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Brooklyn with the rebound.
Tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket. Clearly a foul. I mean, they didn't have any choice but to blow the whistle. You got to play without fouling.
So 1 for 2 that time at the strike.
And you can see that even though he ties the game up, disappointed he didn't give him the lead.
A good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Hawkins ahead, leading by just 2. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, it's been a tough one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And guys, what's your take so far on Hawkins?
I just like the way they're getting out in the open court, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition. Boy, nice tip in to salvage the point from the missed shot. And made it work.
And those second chance points, Clark, they do add up.
Yes, sir. They do, guys. That's the last line of your defense there. Everything else was good, but you have to finish it off with possession.
To the middle, 5 on the clock. And this is into Richardson. Perfect gets to Donis. Here's Smith. Can't get it to go. And Denver around on the other end with it.
Talking about Chris Boshing, he was really ahead of his time when he first entered the league. I mean, very few power forwards back then had his combination of size, agility, and his skill set. Now we're seeing a ton of forwards like that on the draft.
Just as the hasn't been able to get a whole lot of motion.
Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Grant. Allen comes in for Richardson. And then for Brooklyn, Robinson's checked in for Young. Bob Bogdanovich comes in for Alex Jefferson. And Myron Sloan checked in for Jack. And we're against the Wizards. That is his first foul of the game. And Adams with some changes. DeMar Carroll's checked in for Horford. And Dennis Schroeder subbed up for Sloan. Kilpatrick passes to Robinson. Here's Kilpatrick. Carroll covering. The pass to Kilpatrick. Lopez dishes to Sloan.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Work into the end goal.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. Start right there. Without this level, that's an easy basket. I'll tell you, if you don't do things like that, go near to one-home jumper.
He feeds it to Bogdanovich. Up for three. It's Lopez with the ball. And now it's also making a change. Henry Six is checked in for Brooklyn. He gets to Carroll. Bogdanovich with another miss. Next to the man foul. Out to the right lane. Here's Sloan. Covered by Schroeder. Sloan passes to Robinson. Here's Sims. There's 41 seconds left in the first round. Swing with the ball.
Inside the first half, guys. Let's make them do it.
And as many points as they pick up in the paint, even if they have much work on
part of their offense in the early stage. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
keep doing it and attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
2 seconds separate the shot clock on game. Here's Robinson. So it's Brooklyn now. 7-point differential. Here's Sloan with 1 on the clock. And then through the first half. Adams, 18 seconds. The TV Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We're looking back at the game's first half. And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the home team.
They had a focus to work inside, and it's working. They've done a great job of recognizing mismatches, a.k.a. barbecue chicken down low, taking advantage. You can't guard that man down there early. The entry passes have been sharp, and it's led to a lot of points. When you control the paint, you control the game, and they've done that so far.
Kenny, how'd you think the Nets will play?
Well, they're facing a very high team in the first half. I mean, guys are shooting the ball like out. But you have to do more to get stops. I mean, tough defense is the key. If you put pressure on the ball and more body up down low, that's going to establish more aggressive tone that might shut them down.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway.
Just a few moments.
Let's take a look at some numbers in this one for Richardson. He has 8 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-point.
And when it's all said and
those sort of plays. Feeds it to Richardson. Passes it to Slim. Gets the one. It is still over. The shot will go this way for two. That's a good look.
His teammates call him the dime bomber because of how calm and quiet he is in terms of his leadership and the mentoring he provides. It's been the same here in the NBA.
Thomas Robinson is checked in for the Nets. And here is Jack. Here is Young. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. Young's got his first bucket of the night. Athens lead by 10. That's good. One thing to say about Rajon Rondo's career, he's come up big in the biggest of games, had 6 steals in the closeout game. They gave Boston 17
In the series against the Lakers, Phil Jackson called Rondo the star of Game 6. Everyone had always talked about the big three in Boston. That year, it was the big four.
6 to shoot. Here's Bogdanovich. Here is the long-range jumper. Bogdanovich is going to back down to within single digits for the Nets.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think guarding position he wasn't set.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Slim, terrific design and a good look. Slim's got 5 points now.
And you know, guys, on the topic of Rondo, you look at his playoff career. I mean, in 2009, he averaged nearly a triple-double in the postseason. And this guy has great instincts, but he has to have the ball to orchestrate the way he's most effective. Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
Just going to try and get into the third quarter. Athens now. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Here is Slim. He has 5. 6 on the shot clock. With a 3. Thomas Robinson comes up with the rebound.
And going back to what we were saying, what you hope with Rondo is that he can get back to his full level of confidence. He tore the ACL in 13. He was traded in 14. He lost his way a little bit, but he's still young enough to have several really good years to come.
4 for 5 so far. That's their first miss in the second half.
Richardson the pass to Horford. Shot is up. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. And guys, this is the first time we've seen Athens this year.
And they're facing the team that dismissed them from the postseason last year. So certainly a little bulldog in that.
Well, you know that's in the past. You can't change that for sure. Nevertheless, a win would be sweet. Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Rajon Rondo. Ronald Sloan's checked in for Brooklyn. He kicks to Young. Layup off the pick. Athens lead by 9 to the middle. Here's Richardson. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound. Kicks to Jack. Pass to Young. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Pass to Jack. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And now Athens on the break. Here's Richardson. And 2 on the shot. Nets trail by 9. Right wing. Here's Sloan. No good on the 3. He's with all sorts of problems with his jumper.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all with a block. He's really lacking in confidence out there. Zero field goals made so far in this game. The lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
No, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to just
The Nets.
and they know that they just are in a funk right now offensively. To maybe come and put a play to get them a good look.
Well, most coaches, usually have a go-to speech or tactic that they can use when they need it most. So we'll see if that's the case here.
Catching up on changes for Athens. Anderson Bergeron checked in for Horford. Jamari Carroll comes in for Chris Bosh. Nicholas Batum is checked in for Slim. And Allen subbed in for Richardson. 56 seconds left in the third. Here comes to Batum. Dishes into Bergeron. And there's the pass to kick. Stolen away. There's Hollis Jefferson to the feet. Stolen by Bergeron. And then one back down to Schroeder. Left jumper. Off the left rim and out. Nets trail by 9. 5 seconds separate the shot game clocks. And Ray Allen gets the whistle. That's it. Athens with some changes. Comes in for Anderson Bergeron. And Chris Bosh is subbed in for Allen. Seconds left in the third quarter. And Schwab kicks to Lopez. And lots of contact there. This is the shot and shooter. It's his first trip to the line.
What he did last season ago, 81%.
That's one spot where they didn't have to worry about him at all. I mean, at the free throw line, he was automatic. Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Athens leading by 7. Here's Schroeder. And foul hard that time. They'll get to the line and shoot 2. For Athens, they've shot 6 or 7 at the line. That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. It's stolen by Schroeder. And now Athens on the way. back as we get set to start the fourth. So it's Brooklyn now, trailing here by 8. And Brooklyn, look at who they've got. They've got Brook Lopez. Got kind of a job there with Young. Then it's Jared Jack. And it's Kilpatrick in at the 2 spot. Here's Lopez. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Lopez has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Nets. But two, but you can't. And he gets it to go. Adams leads by 8. And for Brooklyn, they shoot the ball 42%. Jack against Rondo. It's all over Richardson. Richardson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Nicholas returned to have an assist by Rondo. And it's a 10-point Hawkins lead. Easy to see who's going to win that race. And Jack gets to the ball.
Good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through them.
And calls time here.
One word comes to mind: professional. He's a experienced, and he proved it all again last season.
Let's go quickly on the Norris break for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Talking about Jared Jack, he is especially dangerous at the end of the game. I know he made great decisions. He was a top 10 free throw shooter last season.
Yeah, experience, tough-minded ball handlers and shot makers are always valuable, especially when you're doing it.
That's to about 7. Lopez right side. Fires from the corner. It's all in by Adams. They've had a 12-point lead here. Step within the Nets. A road game in here. That'll be just one team play away from home for them.
They're not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get it quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Themselves with catering all the effort out there on the floor. And these timeouts can be such a huge factor. Getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Here's Kilpatrick. And the Nets once again. Adams lead by 9. Walsh passes to Slade. And the shot is good. Helping him out before the run.
Finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Here's Young. Here's Lopez. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. That one on Horford.
It's been a good night for Brook Lopez. He's got 10 points. He has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
They've been on fire from the free throw line, and that efficiency has really propelled them forward.
For Brook Lopez, disappointing start to last season. The season before, he played only 17 games, so he made the impact on the back. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, you know, he missed the first 2 games altogether with the foot injury and comes back to play pretty well, then hurts his back. Out for 8 more games, comes back again. He's benched in favor of Miles Plumlee. Just a very disjointed year for Lopez.
That's good. And that's now 7 points here for Thaddeus Young.
How about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, at least he looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
And for Lopez, last year was the first time circumstances. But you know what? At the end, he rose above it.
You know, on the topic of Lopez last season, ugly beginning, but things got beautiful over the last 2 months. 55% shooting, nearly 20 and 10 a game. Some of the best numbers of his career.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Back to Horford. And James in the mid-court.
All the time he needed to go hard to the record.
So pretty, man.
Show him the ball and then take it to the hoop.
Just like every other coach, he scans when the defense gives up points on the inside. Boy, are they struggling with that.
Yeah, well, they're getting pummeled in there. So you've got to figure out a way to make some adjustments to try to change that around. That's why you needed the timeout.
Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Brooklyn. Here's Young. And good as it just right down through the net.
He's shaking off that slow start, giving him a boost here in the second.
Here is Slim. 144. That one's good.
The fans
are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
They sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about, and really used that home court advantage to their advantage.
Goes up to the top of the key. So it's Hawkins winning this one easily. They poured it on that Clark, but they're not showing in front of the crowd that they're winning it.
I don't think they have anything but positive to take away from this one. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, it all went right for them.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Chris, congratulations on a decisive win here tonight. You guys were scoring very efficiently.
Well, I mean, it's not even about the points. I give credit to our defense tonight. You know, the coaches, they've really been honest about that. You know, we play defense, and when we play defense, good things happen.
Chris, thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Now let's take this opportunity to check out our Jordan player of the game. He was the engine that drove this team the whole night, and his teammates had no problem harnessing the power of that motor.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage.
Wow. He was a beast on the boards tonight, guys. There's nobody else. I think no one in the world that could match his effort on the glass tonight. Emotionally, his rebounding gave them a big lift.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports group, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.
gonna take my pinky out. They're pressing. About Kurt Hawkins, the person that come from TNA. You said what, Mom? The stormy